Hello everyone, Arkham here, and welcome back to another episode of The Fog Illustrated. Tonight we have a shorter but bloody sweet archive for you folks, so if you're ready then sit back, relax, and listen as we take another dive into the Aurus. I hope you enjoy it. In the once quiet town of Miles County, the citizens will be brought upon something truly inhuman. Nothing is known about the origins of Art the Clown, but what was made apparent to those he terrorized in his moments of violent fury, they discovered he was a being of almost no empathy, a devil painted in white. Art was known for using creative and brutal methods to bring pain to those that could never understand his intentions, and perhaps to him, he could never understand them either. In fact, as Art stood outside in the snow at a bus stop, he found himself a moment to reflect on what had previously happened, thinking back to his most glorious kills and brutalities he had committed. And then, he thought back to one particular night, the night where he had originally been shot and killed. In the morgue, an unknown force had brought Art back to life, choosing him to be its vessel of power, and thus giving him another chance to cause chaos and death to those around him. But he quickly realized that after his confrontation with Sienna earlier, whatever power that had previously been gifted to him was now gone, a piece that was now missing from the jumbled jigsaw of his mind. And he couldn't allow this. The fun couldn't just stop here and now, not during the most magical time of the year. He sat on the bench in contemplation, trying to think of some way to return that evil force and get his powers back. And then he remembered. 5 years prior, he had broken into the home of a family, and after politely vacating them from the residence, sat in a chair completely motionless in the attic. During those years, though, he remembered seeing something just out of the corner of his vision, a black-covered book with strange, almost spider-esque patterns that crept along the spine. Thinking back to that image, Art could feel a presence looming over him, overtaking his mind to where all he could see was that particular book. And he couldn't be more excited. Whatever the contents of that book were, Art thought, would be the solution to getting his powers back and going back to having fun. After the bus he had been so patiently waiting for had stopped, Art quickly disposed of the driver with the chainsaw he had been carrying, tossing the pieces out, and drove off to that house to find the book. After he arrived and slipped into the dusty cracks and crevices, Art had reached the attic, which had been left in the same dusty state as he had previously left it. And off to the side of the chair he saw it, that same black book that came to him in his mind. He gleefully rushed over to pick it up, blowing the dust off of it and opening it to read its contents. This was too perfect. The book had laid out precise instructions in order to summon a creature that Art assumed would be the same one to return his powers. There was only one problem, though. The incantation had to be read aloud. Art stomped and pouted in frustration, refusing to break his act. What good clown would do so? Not him, he thought. But as he stared out the window, the answer to his problem soon came into the vision of a man walking his dog along the sidewalk, and Art delivered a toothy grin. After a few moments of struggle, and a few fingers being removed, Art pointed to the man, now tied in the chair, the dark incantation for him to read aloud. Through sobs of pain, the man read the twisted, archaic words aloud. Art could barely contain his excitement. He bounced up and down in anticipation, and he looked all around the attic after the man had finished the ritual to see what happened. But to his disappointment, he saw nothing. All he could see was a thick black fog slowly starting to form from the corners of the room. But Art didn't believe that to be interesting at all. He tossed and turned the boxes of the attic as the man screamed and shouted to be let out. Art ignored him, though. But after the man stopped screaming, Art turned in curiosity and realized maybe this fog had something more to it. As he turned around, The fog had covered the window and slowly crept towards Art in cold wisps. After his realization, Art jumped up and down in giddy excitement, rushing towards the fog with open arms to give it a big, old clown hug.